What's up, everybody? Brian Wagner, editor, Street Muscle Magazine, here with Project... Oh, where is it? There it is. Project Red Dragon, finally getting it on the dyno. Exciting day. Hopefully everything goes well. We'll put a link down in the description below so you can go back over the car. You know, 80mm turbo, Pontiac ECU, 370 forged internals from Lonati, Molly pistons, Deechworks fuel system. So we're finally going to get to see what the car can do. We put about 100 or so miles in it on break-in, so it's good to go there. So now it's time to see if we can get this thing to make a little bit of horsepower. Couple pulls were just to kind of get the car felt in, see what it wanted, make sure everything was trimmed out right. So now we're going to go through and really start trying to make some power pulls, see where the timing wants to be, make those adjustments as needed. So we're creeping up on it slowly. You know, it's a brand new combo, brand new everything, so we got to make sure everything's right and tight before we really try to crank it up. And I don't even know if we're really going to wag this thing's tail very much and push it as hard as what it could be pushed, because, you know, we want to keep things safe and keep it happy and alive. So let's see what it makes on this next pull. All right, well, we made our first power pull. Car made 532 horsepower, 531 torque with barely 7 pounds of boost, so not bad at all. Just creeping up on it, trying to figure out the timing still. It's interesting watching a turbo car like this get tuned, but go through, look at the data, make some adjustments, and crank it up a little bit more and see what it likes. All right, well, this time at about 10 pounds of boost, the car made 629 horsepower, 646 foot-pounds of torque. So Scott's in there still working the Hall Tech, looking at what it's telling him, seeing what it wants, and kind of creeping forward on it. It's neat to see the car do that. It's the most power it's ever made. So that's cool, but it's a completely new combo. And we still got to, you know, might put 4 or 5 more pounds of boost in it. So it should make some steam, but it seems to be happy. That's what we want. You know, I'm not worried necessarily about a big horsepower number. I'm just worried about the baby being healthy and happy. That's what we want. That's what's more important than anything. So we'll let Scott do his deal, and then we'll make another pull. All right, well, on that pull, we made a little bit more power, almost 740 horsepower, 663 foot-pounds of torque, just over 13 pounds of boost. So once again, it's liking whatever Scott's doing, just again, working on it slowly. The boost controller's doing a job. Everything's working as needed. The dyno operator, Brian, noticed that the gearing in the car might be more of 8th mile gearing, so we'll see how that plays out. We might have to make an adjustment there. I think it's got like 350 gears in it, so we might have to change that up if we want to do any quarter-mile racing. But right now, it's just about trying to get it sorted out on the dyno, make some more power so we can get it to the track. Reached the capacity for our boost setup right now with the spring. We made about 14 pounds of boost with the 7-pound spring. Ended up making 778 horsepower, 685 foot-pounds of torque. Everything looks good on the data wise, so I'd say that's it's a good starting point with the car. I mean, there's no point going out and trying to make max effort right now with the car for the simple fact we take it to the track, we don't know what's going to do. We don't know what it's going to like. So we'll start out here, and then if we want to add more power to it, we can. But now it's time to strap her to the trailer, take her to the track, and see what we can do at the track. the Dragway 42. With Dragway 42, back in the day, was not one of the nicest facilities on earth, but the Matcham family took it over and did an awesome job, and they run a pretty tight ship. The way that they run testing is interesting. They give you a run card, and you go up by group. So we were running with the faster cars, the race cars, so we got good track prep, which was awesome. Hats off to them for doing it that way. So let's talk performance. How did the Red Dragon do? Well, first pass was interesting. Went a whopping 1135 at 114 miles an hour with a blistering 211 60 foot, 745 to the 8th at 102 mile an hour. Why do we do that? Well, first pass on this combo at the track, we honestly did not know what this car was going to do. Didn't know if it was going to straight flip over backwards, what it was going to do. I knew it wasn't going to be super fast because I don't have a trans brake in this car, so I can't build massive amounts of boost. So Scott Cordell set up a launch control for me, sweet, in the Haltech, hit the button, went to mash the car to the floor, and it started pushing through the beam something fierce. Could not hold the power, so I just kind of brake boosted the best I could, took off down the track, ripped it through all 3 gears, lifted a little early, just literally a shakedown run to make sure that nothing was gonna fall off the car. It was gonna go straight, do what it needed to do. Made that first hit, brought the car back. Scott pulled the logs. Everything looked honestly really good. Everything, oil pressure, all the major parameters were all solid. He was happy with what it saw. So it was time to take her off wastegate and give it all 15 pounds of boost that we had and see what it could do. Once again, I didn't have the ability to build any real boost at all. So I only, torqued it up to about 2,500 at the line just to kind of see what it could do. So the second hit, with making a little bit more power and trying to brake boost it, cut a 187 60 foot, 686 113 to the 8th mile. Out the back, 1028 at 147 miles an hour. That was wild. I have never driven a turbo car, let alone something that makes 780 plus horsepower. The only thing I had it compared to is, 9-second, 141 mile an hour all motor car. Crazy difference. When that thing got wound up, it was rolling past half track. I mean, things were happening quick, so kind of happy we're having the ability to baby step into this and see what the car could do. But once again, I mean, this thing, it's kind of crazy that it's going that fast and it drives just like a street car. I mean, I was surprised and shocked and happy that it went straight, didn't give me issues, right down Broadway, and did what it needed to do. So, came again, pulled the data logs, and everything looked good. All right, so we didn't get the chance to kind of make a third hit to play with things. The big issue, too, is not being able to, build much boost off the line. This thing's really not going to do a whole lot more than what we can really do with it out now. Maybe, turn it up, try to foot brake it up a little bit more. It's a 2-hour drive up there. We got our licks and did what we needed to do. So where do we stand now? Well, the big off-season thing I'm going to try to do with Project Red Dragon is get a trans brake in this car. It desperately needs one, just so we can really start unlocking what it needs to do. From that point forward, it's going to be the game of playing with power management, playing with the suspension, starting to dial it in and kind of back in. Before we even start to turn the boost up and try to make more power, we need to get this thing sorted out as is. There's no need to really go trying to chase big crazy numbers. This is the first time Scott and I have really played with a turbo car this fast before, me driving, him tuning. And, for working with Raylets for years, I know that the best approach is a metered approach. So we're going to probably put the Red Dragon up for the year, probably put the interior back in and make a few changes here and there, and then it will be time to get it ready for next year. So make sure if you haven't checked out yet, check out the full build on Dragzine. And there'll be some other articles here and there when we start playing some stuff, but till then, it'll be time to get it ready for 2024.